UFOs were the last thing on Nathan Wallner's mind as he jetted through the West Coast skies.
I went down to LA for our 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu 15-year anniversary.
The MMA instructor and Air Force veteran didn't expect his in-flight entertainment to be extraterrestrial.
It's a beautiful thing to look out and see all those mountains, and that's when I noticed this thing. It was unlike any other airplane or jet that I saw while I was in the Air Force.
You're not going to serve in the Air Force and not know a thing or two about aircraft.
This is someone in a passenger plane, not expecting anything to happen.
You're idly sitting by, looking at your window and not expecting to see a UFO.
Somewhere over Northern California, I see this dark little dot. I thought if it was another plane, something's going on with it. Maybe they're in trouble or something. It started to spin around, and then it started to stretch out. It gets darker and darker. You don't see any propulsion. You just see this thing just start moving away. And what's crazy is that it almost looks bigger as it's getting away. It was so bright, I was trying to zoom in on my phone to get a good view of it.
I've been to a lot of air shows, and you see great puffs of smoke coming out of certain aircraft. And initially I thought perhaps it was something like that. And no sooner did I think that when it started to morph and elongate, and it was like, all right, now what am I looking at?
It's definitely not a balloon, not a plane or a helicopter. This is a UFO.
Suddenly, one more element adds to Nathan's mysterious encounter as a recognizable aircraft enters the vicinity.
It's important to see that jet because it is clearly identifiable as a jet, which then speaks even more to the strangeness of this object.
When the jet flew by, I knew that what I was looking at was really big. And so that's what really made me go, okay, what the heck is that?
And then Nathan makes an absolutely chilling conclusion.
Oh my gosh, this is something that's not an airplane.
High above the ground, at supercharged speeds, airborne UFO encounters give us an up-close and personal view of unknown craft.
It's always cool to see something that blows your mind, and that definitely did.
Nathan Wallner's mind races as he tries to process his incredible encounter.
Every contrail that I've ever seen has been white. When that smaller jet flies through, it just gives you even more of a contrast to the dark black cloud that surrounded the object. I just knew that the way it was moving like that was not the way an aircraft moves as I know it.
The object in Nathan's video is not conducive to human pilots. It's rotating, it's spiraling, it's tumbling. That is not the way humans normally travel.
Across the globe, there are two passengers who can relate. They were on board a plane flying over the Aegean Sea when they saw an inexplicable shape carving through the clouds outside their window.
That's not. What is it? Kerry, what is that? What is that? Kerry, what is that?
No idea.
Holy crap!
This is a very, very large object, and it looks from this footage like it's fairly close.
I wanted to find a normal explanation that it was some sort of smoke or dark contrail, but the fact that it seemed to have solid structure at one point speaks against that.
You can tell from the passengers' reactions that they are absolutely stupefied by what they're seeing.
Karen, what is that? What is that?
In all of these cases, one thing stands out to eyewitnesses. No matter their shape, these objects move differently than our own aircraft.
This thing moved faster than any airplane I am familiar with.
The main noteworthy element of this object's behavior is that it seemed intelligent. It comes down, it stops, it shines a light at them, and it simply paces them at a very close distance for 30 minutes. That's indicative of a plan.
If we look at Delgado's sighting, he saw a Foo Fighter, basically. During the Second World War, fighter pilots and bomber pilots would often report balls of light that would dance around their aircraft.
All Eric knows is that this is nothing he's seen before, not in 30 years of flying.
There's no drones that I know that will go up that high and trail us at Mach 8 times the speed of sound.
It's able to fly at a really good speed without any obvious aerodynamic features.
It's so obviously not a balloon, couldn't possibly be a blimp or a shooting star. What is this thing? That's the million-dollar question.
If radar did not pick up this aircraft, technically it was carrying some sort of technology that made it not detectable by radar. Whether it was a stealth aircraft or something else, that's the mystery.
And this is what stealth is all about.
Another startling fact that shakes Eric's nerves, deepens the mystery.
We may be able to hide from radar, but not from the human ear.
As a tanker pilot, you get close enough formation to some of these fighters. I mean, it's loud. There was no sound.
Back on the USS Theodore Roosevelt, Matt Roberts is wrestling with the mystery and threat of his inexplicable UFO encounter.
I immediately knew that this was not ours, so the question becomes, whose is it?
These aircraft don't have any visible wings, so we're not really sure how they're generating lift.
There are viable theories about creating an anti-gravitic effect. We've had scientists studying this phenomenon since the 1950s at the least. But if they've made these breakthroughs, then they better get the teenagers away from the controls of these things, because someone is obviously joyriding.
Here it is, literally in black and white. What is it? We had better find out, because they're flying circles around us.
Personal recordings, official reports, and leaked footage are combining to build a critical mass of incredible high-altitude encounters.
The gimbal video was taken in the midst of a large wave of very perplexing sightings that the United States Navy was having.
One of these objects almost hit a fighter plane mid-flight. Two pilots were flying in the air, and all of a sudden, this cube-shaped object suddenly appeared out of nowhere and went right between them.
It was described as a sphere inside a cube. They were told that maybe they were encountering some kind of drone technology, but look, let's get real here, all right? A cube in a sphere? How is that a drone? How does that fly? And how does that go between two F-18 Super Hornets?
Seeing something unexpected, unexplainable, and possibly extraterrestrial can be terrifying and downright exhilarating.
When you listen to men who are flying these $66 million planes yelling like little kids, that just speaks to the credibility of their case.
And it's pulsating too, man. That is nuts. Oh, I wish you would get closer. I can't believe you saw it.
You don't want a nervous individual piloting these aircraft. You want someone who's able to handle pressure. These gentlemen are able to do that. And so when they see something that they don't recognize, you've got to take that seriously. It doesn't hurt that they were able to record some very interesting video at the same time.
The abilities of this mysterious craft are staggering.
When an FA-18 Super Hornet has trouble keeping up with another object, that really speaks to the remarkable speed of that craft.
An aircraft that is flying at a high speed suddenly rotates and broadsides into the wind. Any aircraft would be thrown out of the sky by doing this.
We're infantile compared to what those guys can do.
It's not how things fly.
Once you realize that there's other stuff out there like that, the possibilities are endless. And once you know that, there's no going back.